get everyone.
If it would have been fast, she said you should have added something else.
Right, right.
We got our diplomas at the 30-minute mark. We was good. It was nice. Celebration.
It was a celebration. It was a
He got all
celebration.
emotional and stuff, started crying.
Oh my God.
He had a lot of feelings that day.
I ain't heard from Will, so. You guys ready?
Let's do it. Dave.
Ready, Joe? Say what?
I think Dr. Lawrence is now.
I didn't hear.
He asked, was Brian here? So I think Dr. Lawrence is now.
Oh, okay.
My first get on that picture, I was like, I like to see where it's still missing.
Hey. Hey, look. We rolling. Still rolling.
Oh, he walking in.
Yeah. Hey, as long as it's happening, we need to get that meeting scheduled.
Which one?
Yeah, follow up. So like, y'all ready?
I thought we. I follow up. I thought it was already scheduled. I thought we scheduled it that day.
I'm talking about for the larger group. Let's knock it out. Hold on.
All right.
What did he say?
You see her come in. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, you can't. You can't make it up.
You gonna stand as everyone.
Will's walking in now. We good? Yeah. Call to order Dayton Public School Board meeting. Roll call.
President Bailey,
Here.
Mr. Lacy,
Here.
Ms. Garrison,
Present.
Dr. Goodwin,
Here.
Ms. Reinhardt,
She has an excused absence.
Mr. Smith,
Present.
Mr. Walker,
Present.
6 present.
President Williams. Mission is to inspire, educate, and empower. Our vision to inspire, educate, and empower scholars for lasting impact. Our purpose to cultivate a supportive and engaging educational experience. Have a presentation?
We do. Madam Treasurer is going to be presenting her 10-slide opus of what we're going to be doing in terms of a levy, or we're going to be proposing to you all.
Okay. Sharice, can you put it up? Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This is an information on a levy, historical data, and what we are going to do to mitigate the shortfall we are having. Let's start with the property and other local taxes. Dayton Public School levies 67.55 mills of property tax for general operations. This millage consists of 4.48 mills from the inside millage and 63.07 from 4 operating levies approved by the voters. The district also collects the following: half a mil for permanent revenue. If we go 5 meals, we will get, the estimated amount is going to be 10.4 million. If we go to a 7, which is 5 meal for operating, 2 meals for capital, it will generate 14.6. So now we are going to compare income tax, estimated income tax revenue compared to property tax revenues and millage. School district income tax may only be levied in 0.25% increments. The following tax table is 2026 estimate comparison to a millage. So 0.25% income tax, traditional income tax, is estimated 5.7 million, equivalent to 2.74 meals. Earned income tax estimate revenue 5.1 million, 2.47 meals. Let's go to 0.5% income tax traditional. Traditional will, the estimated revenue is going to be 11.8 million, equivalent to property tax millage 5.69. Earned income tax estimated revenue 10.5 million, equates to equivalent to tax millage of 5.03. Placing new levy on a ballot. A resolution must be passed asking the county auditor to prepare certificate of estimated property tax revenue or certificate of estimated property tax millage rate. The resolution should include levy description and purpose, Ohio Revised Code section, and letter if the levy is renewal, replacement, or additional millage. Tax year and calendar for levy is to begin collecting, specify primary or general election, amount of millage or dollars that need to be generated, certificate received from the county auditor accepted at a public meeting, complete the resolution declaring that it is necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 meal limitation, approved and passed at a public meeting. Present the certificate prepared by the county auditor and the resolution to the Board of Elections prior to the deadline to place a levy on the ballot. August 5, 2026 is the deadline for submitting a levy for the November general election. Our financial plan. Strategic objective for our fiscal stability. Stability cash. Stabilize cash balance. Establish a sustainable cash reserve to safeguard daily operations against state and local funding fluctuations and unpredictable economic shifts. Optimize operational efficiency by reducing expenditures through attrition and program reassessments before considering direct services. Secure local revenue via voted levies, pursue a targeted tax levy to protect core student programs and provide structural financial stability as the state continues to reduce funds and restrict localized revenue actions. Execute capital and facility improvement plan, address urgent infrastructure needs to ensure classroom environments remain safe, warm, and dry, utilizing strategic capital plan financing to minimize long-term burdens. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Questions, concerns? Dr. Goodwin?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the information. I do appreciate that. I know Board Member Walker has been asking for the income tax information, and I do appreciate it having it, because I do think that is something we should consider as a board. And I'm just gonna tell you guys, as I just look at my own family dynamics, I don't think it is a fair assess that my grandmother, who's a property owner, pays more taxes than some of the people on my generations who work right now. So I did like seeing that piece of it. Regarding, my question more so is for, because we've had this conversation a couple months ago for the committee that volunteered. How's that work going on, kind of where we are with this? I ask this because as I look at our surrounding jurisdiction, although I've heard some of our financial situations of why we need the levy, I don't think we've done a good job of it yet of putting that out to other individuals outside of the people who attend finance or who are on the Board of Education of that one. So just a little bit of update on kind of the need for the levy, what our situation is, and when do we predict that we're going to share that if we do go in this direction? Or that's the question for the treasurer, and then for the group that has had any discussions about kind of anything since the last meeting, have you guys had anything since the last time we came to this topic?
We need this levy because we are working on a deficit spending. And we are, according to Ohio law, we have to show a positive fund balance in the third year of the forecast. So knowing we're working on a deficit cash balance, we need to ask our community to help us.
And one follow-up question on the income one, that would be anyone who worked in the city of Dayton and not just Dayton residents, correct?
Yes.
So everyone on our staff who doesn't live here would actually be contributing to it if we went with the income route. Yes, okay.
You have questions?
Can I ask? Thank you, Madam Treasurer, for that presentation. The bond, we'll be collecting on the bond through what year?
2029.
2029?
But the bond payment goes to 2031.
So, but we will have collected enough to pay it off.
That's
through-
what the
That's
county,
what the plan is.
the county auditor is saying we should collect by that time to pay for the rest.
Okay, and that's been
But
going on.
if it's not paid,
Right,
really, we can go and get more money because the bond has to be paid.
correct.
It was approved by the voters because the county auditor reduces it whenever he sees we have the money in the fund balance, or increases it when we need the money.
But he's anticipating that we should
Yeah,
collect enough
yes.
to pay off the bond, but through 2029. And
Yeah.
that is 13 mills, and that's 13 mills. I mean, that's
no,
12 mills
12
plus
mil.
2 half mills.
The half meal will continue. I
They will
think.
continue, both of those?
I think so. I will check. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And a new levy voted on in November would start in 26, 27.
yes.
Okay. And the bond levy is not subject to a reduction factor,
No,
whereas an operating levy would be. Okay,
Yes.
that's all I have. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Anyone else?
Smith
No, they ain't raised
did.
his
I
hand.
know. So, I will. Thank you for the presentation, Madam Treasurer. Yeah, only with what's happening across the state, I am honestly hesitant about doing anything with property tax levies. That is something that is very much discussed every single day in the political atmosphere. When looking at the income tax, even looking at, Madam Treasurer, your presentation, on the levies, on the residential levy, it shows the millage is 76.07, but then the effective rate is 45.330 with the change of, that's reduced by 740?
Yeah, because those are old ones, so they reduce them.
Right, but then if you look at commercial, theirs only reduced by 8%.
Yeah,
And is that because of tips and things like that?
I don't know why. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just those two alone, and honestly, when I look at the population here in the city of Dayton, to have seniors, and I know some of them may have homestead and things like that, but just to add more to what they may end up paying, I myself am not sure what the board would want to do. I would be more inclined with income tax, looking across the state. Primary election, there was 24 out of 66 levies that actually passed. Income tax, 3 income tax levies was on the ballot for, what was that? 3 income tax in one area, and I think that was operational, 2 of them passed. For capital, 28 was on the ballot, 6 passed, but these were all new levies within themselves. I think even with looking at Madam Treasurer's presentation, we actually get more with income tax than we would with property tax. And again, just the hesitation of the state conversations or just state bills in general that are pending regarding property taxes is very, very untouchable in a lot of ways. So that's just my comments on that.
Anybody else? Ms. Garrison?
Yeah, so under the superintendent's recommendations, it looks like the D&E are only for property taxes. I didn't see an option for the income tax. Is that accurate, or can we
yeah,
upload that as an option?
I get it.
Board Member Garrison, that is accurate, but we will take direction from the board.
That's all. That was my question on those 2 documents.
Did you have anything, Mr. Smith?
Yes, just briefly, I know, wanted to touch on Dr. Goodwine's ask. I have been in contact with, first started off looking at some of the people that were around for some of the other community levies, had good conversations there, have a small group that is ready to kind of move on the direction that we take. I do think one of the next things would be a conversation, and I would welcome, I think maybe Walker would be good for that space, and Lacey, just with the history with levies, because that was one of the conversations that did come up there, is with the statewide kind of shift on what's going on with property taxes, what is the feasibility of that passing, and then also what does that look like to still really ramp up, and then just what the historical context is, because a lot of people who are around in that space aren't moving the same way. We haven't had, like, some people that worked on school levies, they haven't been around in quite a while now. So that's the update. There's been really just gathering some people to work on some of the things that by statute we cannot do as a school district. So I'll be happy to share that, and I'll get with Mr. Walker to share with that group kind of some of the things we just talked about previously.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Sure, go ahead.
Madam Treasurer, okay, so if I'm looking at this on, Ms. Garrison pointed out the resolution. So if it was property tax, then it would amount to $245 for a $100,000 property, or?
Yeah, if it's 7 meals.
Okay. What would be the income tax?
The income tax will be if it is earned, we have to go 0.75%. If it is earned the same way, but it generates 15 million, 0.8 million.
So would income tax be the same? Well,
No,
would it be more or less?
0.75% or 0.63% is equal to that. Under the traditional, 0.63% will equal to 7 mil, 7.16 mil.
Okay.
But if we go with 0.50%, under traditional 11.8, the millage is going to be 5.69, and under earned 10.5 million, that will be 5.03.
Okay. So these are, so there's, okay. So the one resolution is combining both two levies.
Yes,
The other resolution is just operating by itself.
yes. The
Okay.
5 is operating, the 7 is for operating and capital.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's all my question.
Capital is going to be
Anyone else?
2 meals.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Next presentation, guaranteed. Did you have something?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
The next presentation is, it says Brian Erskar, but I don't see him out there. But I do see the team out there. I see Tierra, I see Nicole, I see Carla. So whoever wants to be the elf that takes the lead on the presentation, come on up. Or it can be all of you. And Ms. Kidd, would you pull up the Guaranteed Experiences Academy Transformation Update? Please.
All right, good evening, President Dr. Bailey, board members, Superintendent Lawrence, and members of the Dayton Public Schools community. My name is Tierra McGee. I serve as a senior academic coordinator. With me is Ms. Goins, principal of Charity Adams Early Girls Academy, and Nicole Smith, regional vice president and executive director of East End Community Center. Thank you for the opportunity to share an update on the work of the Guaranteed Experiences Committee and the progress we are making to ensure that every Dayton Public School student has access to meaningful, career-connected learning experiences. So tonight, we want to briefly walk you through 3 things. First, what a guaranteed experience is, the grade bands and rollout focus for this year, and then where we are headed as a district in building a pre-K-12 continuum of experiences for all students. So first off, what is a guaranteed experience? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a planned, meaningful learning experience that every student in a particular grade level will have access to. These experiences are not random, they're not optional add-ons. They are intentionally designed, developmentally appropriate opportunities that connect classroom learning to the real world. As outlined in our work, they are designed for all pre-K-12 students. They are established yearly for each grade level, developed with community partners, connected directly to our high school pathways, aligned to Ohio learning standards, and built to reinforce our portrait of a graduate competencies. And then they are also structured with pre and post learning opportunities for reflection and application. So this work is grounded in a work-based learning framework that helps students move through the stages of exploration, awareness, and engagement as they progress through school. Our goal is not simply to expose students to careers, it's to create a coherent system of experiences that help students see the connection between who they are learning to become in school and the possibilities available to them in life after graduation. So why does this work even matter? This committee exists because we know students need more than content alone. They need opportunities to see, experience, question, create, connect, and imagine themselves in future pathways. This work helps us align experiences to the portrait of a graduate, competencies, connect the classroom learning to real-world careers, and ensure students are exposed to both industry and design and health and human services pathways. In short, this work is about equity, relevance, and readiness. Additionally, we have our Academy of Coaches are also essential in this work because they help move the guaranteed experiences from planning into practice. They support coordination at the school level, connect teachers and students to pathway-aligned opportunities, and help ensure that each experience is tied to classroom learning and the larger academy vision. We want every student in Dayton Public Schools, regardless of their school, their zip code, or background, to have access to experiences that broaden their thinking. And I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Goins to talk about the continuum.
Good evening, everyone. As Ms. McGee stated, we are here to talk about the highlighted grade bands we are actively focused on as we continue the implementation of the Guaranteed Experience Continuum. So the first phase is the exploration phase. This is for our early grades. Our early grades, 4 through 6, are focused on exploration. In this grade level, students begin learning about the world around them through hands-on activities, engaging experiences that connect to the community, service, entrepreneurship, health, and problem solving. For the continuum, examples include experiences connected in kindergarten, which would be first responders. Grade 1 would be animal science. Grade 2 would be business and entrepreneurship. Grade 3 would be healthcare, and grade 4 will be urban agriculture. The earlier experiences are important because of the seeds are planted in those grade bands. They help students begin to understand that learning is connected to the world beyond the classroom, and that there are many different ways they can contribute to their communities. So in the middle grades, we are focusing on awareness. In those grade levels, students begin moving from broad exploration into deeper, more intentional engagement with skills, pathways, and real-world exploration. Grade 5 will be aerospace. Grade 6, public service and civics. Grade 7, manufacturing and design. Grade 8, public service. And Mrs. McGee will come back in a little bit and talk a little bit more about the 9th and 10th grade and our targeted grades for the 26-27 school year. How the continuums are designed. One of the strengths of the work is that it is not a set of disconnected events in the continuum. Students begin with exploration in the early grades, move into awareness in the upper elementary and middle school, and then deepen into engagement in high school through more pathways connected, through experiences, credentialed exposure, work-based learning, and internships. By the time students reach grade 11 and 12, the vision is for them to be positioned for JA Inspired to hire and contingent workspace learning opportunities, industry internships, pathway dependent work-based learning experiences, more direct connections to post-secondary and workforce opportunities. This means the committee is not just planning individual field trips or one-time events. We are building district-wide structure that intentionally develops students over time.
That's good. You can go to the next slide. All right, so here's our 2026-2027 rollout or timeline. In the 2026-2027 year, our district's guaranteed experiences include grade 5 with the Challenger experience. And of course, you see the focus is communication and problem solving with the pathway alignment to industry and design. This experience gives students the opportunity to engage in collaborative hands-on problem solving while seeing how STEM, innovation, and teamwork connect to real careers. The Challenger Center experience provides students with an immersive, hands-on opportunity to explore the aerospace pathway while developing a deep understanding of teamwork and collective responsibility. Through mission-based simulations, students take on specific roles required to successfully launch and land a spacecraft, gaining insight into the diverse careers and skills needed with the aerospace industry. I can speak from experience that because our team went through the experience at the Challenger Center, and communication and problem solving are truly at the forefront of that experience. Also, grade 8, the focus is also on communication and problem solving, with the pathway being health and human services or public service. This experience helps students see the value of service, community engagement, and leadership while understanding how helping professions contribute to stronger communities. And Ms. Smith is going to talk more about that specific experience in upcoming slides. Grade 9 is the Montgomery County Career Expo and College Visit, with a focus on career exploration and post-secondary awareness. And the pathway is all pathways. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to visit when we did the Montgomery County Career Expo, but it's pretty amazing, and there's so many different jobs and opportunities, and the students get to experience that and look at the different career options that help them connect their coursework to future goals. And then grade 10 are industry tours, and this is where students are going into looking at their career field and gaining experiences. They're hearing more about their careers, they're seeing them interacting with professionals, and beginning to understand workplace expectations and opportunities. For the 2027-2028 rollout, the continuum expands to additional grades and experiences, including kindergarten, grade 6, and grade 7. Kindergarten, as Ms. Goins talked about, would be a first responders experience. Their focus is collaboration, and the pathway is health and human services. Grade 6 is moot court, government speakers and tours. This will focus on critical thinking and problem solving, and that pathway would be public service. And then grade 7 would be another Challenger Center experience with robotics, and that focus is critical thinking, problem solving, and resilience. So that experience intentionally builds student confidence with engineering design, persistence, and innovation. Over the course of grades pre-K through 8, students will have had 5 health and human services guaranteed experiences and 5 industry and design guaranteed experiences that connect to the most common high school pathways. And I'm going to turn it over.
So we cannot do this work without partnerships. This work would not be possible without the strength of our community partnerships. Our guaranteed experiences are built in collaboration with partners who help bring learning to life for our students. We are grateful for leaders and organizations that are helping us bridge the gap between classroom instruction and authentic experiences. We especially want to recognize Nicole Smith, Regional Vice President and Executive Director of the East Community Service Corporation, along with the many school and district leaders who have helped shape this work. So at this time, I would like to introduce you to Nicole Smith.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Smith, and it's a pleasure and honor to be with you on behalf of the Guaranteed Experiences group that we've gotten close over the past many months in conceptualizing how we can particularly do this work together. So it's wonderful to be a partner. What we are offering at East End Community Services by WestCare Ohio is a guaranteed experience that focuses on communication and problem solving, and we've compiled ideas surrounding our junior board members. So from the nonprofit perspective, a lot of times our board members are challenged with the high-level questions and concerns that nonprofits face. The landscape is constantly changing. So for our junior board members, they will be posed with an issue or a challenge, and they will be able to flex their communication muscles in learning about how different perspectives and different people on a part of the board, how that they can accept those conversations, and really thinking through a problem through a systematic approach. How does this work? How can we collaborate? How can we work together to determine what the next steps will be and what's going to be best for the community? So our junior board members are going to have business cards. They are going to be able to quantify their community service hours and then be able to have junior board participation on their resumes when they leave. So we're super excited about the opportunity for our students to come into the boardroom, have different perspectives, and then put those solutions to work in a way that is productive, that meets the needs of the pathways and everything that we've set out for them to do.
So lastly, we would like to acknowledge our other team members who are not able to be here with us. Brian Ertzgard, LaDon Mims, Megan O'Toole, Eddie Davis, and of course, Tierra McGee. So thank you very much for having us here tonight to present about Guaranteed Experiences.
Thank you very much.
What was that meeting?
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Can I
Ms. Garrison?
So, thank you guys for this presentation. I just want to say the Business Advisory Committee that I chair with Dr. Goodwine and Jocelyn, one of our focus areas is to help bridge the gap between DPS and workforce. So I look forward to partnering with you guys, sitting down and having some additional conversations on what you're looking for and what employers you're trying to partner with. We can never have enough, so that we can increase and enhance that engagement and really get to more of a village mindset within the Dayton community. So I'm excited to hear this. I know if Ms. Minor was here, who also is on the committee, she would be excited as well. So I look forward to working with you guys through Dr. Lawrence and his recommendations. Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Walker?
Okay, so, I apologize if this is so broad, but this just sounds like field trips to me. So like what exactly, how's it connecting academically back to the classroom? Like I've seen here that it mentioned Ohio Learning Standards. How? What does that look like? What's the data that then becomes behind the movement, things like that?
So guaranteed experiences aren't just field trips. So when you think of a field trip, you think, okay, we're going to, you know, whatever museum or this place, and it's a one-time thing, and then you're in and out. With a guaranteed experience, you have pre-work, you have, it directly ties back into the classroom with the standards, but not just the standards, also the portrait of a graduate competencies, also looking at the pathway. So it all ties in together so that when students leave, it's something that's memorable, and they can go back and say, okay, I understand how this aligns, and they're going to see it again, right, as they progress through high school, well, through their school.
Okay.
So it's not just a field trip, because it's not just something that they're doing and it's done. It's something that's ongoing, right? It's something that is built into their curriculum because the teachers are a part of helping with this. The partners are a part of developing it. It's not just like someone gave me something and I'm going on this trip and then it's done after that.
Yeah, I think for me, what I was more so interested in is like, okay, if I have a for instance, a third grader, how is this helping with third grade readiness? What exactly does that look like academically outside of just the career exploration and what do you want to do next? But what's happening right now on a data standpoint of deliverables and metrics and things like that?
So one thing that you're looking at is how are the standards, so you're making those standards come to life, right? It's not just I'm looking at these standards and I'm expected to know this, but how does it truly impact my life long-term? So that's the difference between it just being an experience, but I understand like how it's connected with careers. I understand
Okay.
the standards and on a deeper level.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
So is this, for my clarification, is this all students or is this select students?
This is all students.
All students, all grades, okay.
And that's another difference, right? Field trips, sometimes you might have one school goes here and another school goes there, but if it's a guaranteed experience, all the students in that grade band are going to.
Is that at
have
the
the
same time or different?
So it would depend. Like, it may not be the exact same date. That's something that we have to, work out. But they all will have a chance to go.
Okay.
Are they earning the chance to go?
Say that again?
Are they earning a chance to go?
No,
Or is this a-
everyone is going.
So it's based upon, like, if I'm looking at high school, it's based upon a class that they're going to?
It's not a behavior thing. You're guaranteed to have this experience.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just still stuck on field trips like that.
It's not a field trip.
I would just wait to see, like, how it goes and the follow-up and things like that. But I do appreciate you presenting.
Dr. Goodwin?
Yes. Okay, so that is one experience. So looking at the Holocaust Museum. So like, for example, they just went to the Holocaust Museum in Cincinnati. And they had pre-work. It was also in their pacing guides of looking at, these are the standards based on, focusing on the Holocaust. And then students went there. They had work before, they had work after, and they, got to understand, okay, why is this important? Why is this learning important to me? And their teachers were a part of this process as well.
Okay, that helped.
Dr. Goodwin?
I just want you to know, I'm okay with them having field trips. We're not together on that. Y'all taking them on a field trip, great. They need to get out and see this.
That's why I'm fine with it.
Get out the building.
I want to get out. That means drivers are going somewhere. That's great stuff happening. Question for you is, at what point do we see matrix on how successful or any level of what this program is? So today is June 23rd. When will I see something to tell me, because it's a great name, love a good guarantee, but when will I actually see something tangible that matches this name?
So this year is our rollout of these experiences. So after this year, you'll have data on, how this is going. And, where we're going to, so at the end of the school year, you should be able to see some data.
Back May 2027 we're looking at? 'Cause I want you to know, this is year 4 and 6 months now.
Yes.
And I've seen many programs come. At one point, I thought the double teaching model sounded pretty cool. And then administration came and told me it wasn't cool. So I'm more interested in what time do you guys have on yourself to prove proof of concept. And it's a actual program that we should continue with versus just another program that we're doing to say, this sounds really good. Because it does sound like a great idea. But if the data, if we don't see the type of things, like if
Well, I said this is our first year that we are really fleshing everything out, right? So I would say in year 2,
So you're asking for 2 years of proof of concept,
I would.
okay? And if
Because
you-
any plan that you have in that first year, you're going to look and see, okay, what do we need to tweak? What do we need to improve on? And then you can really give data based off of that feedback.
I'm not sure if the board would actually, I'm
We
gonna just
want to
be
make
honest.
sure that these experiences are quality. So remember, we're just rolling out 5th and 8th grade, so
Right.
it's not every grade. So we want to make sure we have time, because if we say every grade, then we won't have time, then it will be just a field trip. So we want to make sure it's meaningful, so it takes time for us to plan the front loading before they go to the experience. Then you have to remember, every eighth grader, some might go in September, some might go in November, so we can't give you the data until everyone has done the experience at the end, so it'd be probably the end of the school year. But this is the first rollout for the guaranteed experiences.
What I would get back to you guys, just board member number 4 down here. is you need more tangible timelines if you want the type of support to continue. Like, we have a lot of changes that have happened in this last year. And part of it sounds like an idea, but you guys need to get more concrete to what you're gonna come back to us with in a year from now to show us what actually happened, what your assumptions were, how you challenged those assumptions, what happened, things that you could have seen that went better. Because if you don't bring those things, this is, again, we're just going to stay in the idea phase, and it'll be
We
something
will
that
definitely
we'll
make
move
sure
forward to.
that we will get it.
Come on up.
If you would've just came up to the mic, you
So-
don't have to raise your hand.
Okay, so a follow-up. So you said,
I wasn't done yet,
The
man.
rollout,
I still got the mic.
I would just like to say, this is part of our wall-to-wall academies, and this is our full year. This year is our first full year. Right now, our preliminary data is saying that we have increased our matriculation in ninth grade by approximately 10 percentage points, as well as our graduation rate. So this is just another part of our wall-to-wall academy. So the data is looking up right now. And this is just another piece to improve that, our motivation, our inspiration, and empowerment of students. So we're going to continue with the data, and we will keep you updated. But right now, our preliminary data is moving upwards.
That's great to hear. When will we actually see what this data is, what it's compared to match the words that you're saying with what actually is, what the numbers say?
So the final data will be in August or September for sure. So we will come back to the board and do a formal presentation on our data for this year.
And that data from this program and the whole academy, which you call them?
It's a
Yours,
framework,
not
yes.
mine, But that piece of it, the comparison to what we see as lay people, which is the report card, I would also like that breakdown on how it translates into, again, the piece of what the common everyday person sees, and if we are seeing a similar thing that we're not seeing by what we're getting from the state. Because it's great if you guys are saying some things, and you should say things are going great because you're working in the program. But if it's not translating in other tangible ways that a common person can see the same thing you're saying, that's where we have a disconnect.
Absolutely, and I think we had a conversation about that before, Mr. Walker. We'll have the people come that have experienced it and who is actually living to present.
I think that's right. The numbers was what I want to make sure you didn't miss the numbers. That's what
The
I'm asking.
numbers.
Somebody else up here may want to hear the people. I want to see the numbers.
I can follow.
Mr. Walker?
Okay, so why is it grade 5 and then grades 8, 9, and 10?
So we didn't do every grade, right? We're starting out small, but one of the things we look at is, okay, what partnerships do we currently have? Looking at, like we said, aligning all the things, the portrait of a graduate, who our partners are, how their capacity as well, and then our teachers in it. So it's layered, where we're not trying to do everyone all at once, but hitting those key areas first.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith?
Well, I had a few things for Dr. Sheehy, but she hightailed that.
Well, she's more than welcome to come back.
I don't know what to do now. So when we talk about the data, I think that is a point of consternation for me because it creates this ether, this data. And I think when we're talking about these things, I would want us to really, as a group, come up with what data points are we really actually trying to move with each of the pieces. Because I see all of these things are different pieces. It may be some of the work we're doing that the key metric we might see change is attendance or fewer disciplinary reports in a building. I think it would behoove us to really carve out that piece when we look at the data. And I think this is maybe for Dr. Lawrence and Dr. Sheehy and Minor and that team to really also look at how can we put out the data that we're looking to see and then explaining to the community what is reflected on the state report card and what isn't. Because I think that's one of the things that plague urban education across the state is the fact that our data system is already flawed by the state report card. And so what happens is you have this cycle where we're constantly trying to hit a number at the state level, but in essence, we've seen that we're capped at the state level. Like, I have yet to see an urban school district get a 4, because we know that a lot of the state data is based around poverty. And we've seen once districts, we had the whole gold star, and then we tried to move, like we keep moving the needle at the state level, and then you guys are chasing a metric. The way, like for years, people were chasing testing scores, and we're chasing third grade testing. Then you end up getting into a cycle where you're teaching to the test. Like, I would want us to really look at what data really looks like inside of each of these things. To say, like, breaking apart all of these things. This is what we expect to see out of Guaranteed Experience. This is what we expect to see out of the 9th grade academies. This is what we expect to see by changing this model. This is what we're looking at for the students that are in this K through 5 and then go to the 6 through 8 and then stay in this model that we created with like Dunbar and then Meadowdale with Valerie and Belhaven. Like a real deep dive into how do we look at the data. Because then if not, we're going to be looking at pieces and going, okay, you did Guaranteed Experience, well, how does that change the reading scores? Where it's like, no, we want to see what does this stuff really look like and how are you guys moving towards it? And then how do we explain it to the public? And I think that makes it better too on the flip side of explaining what do we need from our public. Like if I can show, hey, for students who are from households that read X amount of minutes a night, this is what it shows up at on our state report card. Like putting those linkages together then I think helps us when we do community engagement. It helps us when we do parent engagement. So that would be my suggestion, is to really take the data that you're hoping to see and then match it with what helps us get there. And so then when you're bringing it to us, you can actually lay out the plans and then where do we need to tweak things? Because to Dr. Goodwine's point, you don't, I mean, I've been here and I've heard Marzano method, Dayton way, and I'm like, and then it shifts and then you look up and now you have a new poster people are trying to learn. And at the root of it is how does it really affect our children? How does it affect our families? So that's what I would be wanting to see, and that would be my suggestion. And appreciate you guys for the presentation. You got to come to the curriculum meeting and share some of these things.
Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for your comments. I just want to say briefly, because we talk about this a lot. It just comes to mind off the top of my head. There's a district called North Olmsted, very wealthy, and there's a gentleman there named Jim Lloyd, and he studies report cards. And what he says is that North Olmsted will have a 4.5 star on the report card forever, as long as their economic baseline stays where it is. So we know for a fact that this is tied to the social economic mobility of communities. That doesn't mean we're making excuses. That does not mean we don't want to see rapid gains. That does not mean we're not pushing the envelope. But let's be clear, the STAR system is rigged.
Ms. Garrison, did you have something? I saw you pulling your mic close to you. Anybody else? All right. Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to have the hearing of bargaining units.
President Bailey, can
Oh, yes, go ahead.
I have a clarification. The school income tax is charged to the residents only. If we pass, it will be for the people who lives in Dayton.
So not even the people that
Not-
work in the,
Not that, yes,
just those that live in Dayton?
yes.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was for.
No, I just checked now.
All right.
Any other questions after that comment?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
To clarify, the one where it's mixed, is that a combination of residents, income paying and property taxes? Or no? You can't mix them like that?
You can't. I don't know.
You
I'm just
can.
reading.
You could have, it would be two different levies, you
Yeah.
can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, let's put them all up.
But if you just do residential, then it would hit property owner.
The property tax,
No, the resident income tax.
the resident, that, in the state of Ohio, the school resident, or the school income tax is only charged to residents.
Not people who just work in Dayton, but people who actually.
Right, if you work in Dayton, but you're a resident of Oakwood, you don't pay.
So is that
That's what
just
it
school
is.
district tax, or if the city did a tax?
No,
Non-city.
school, the city.
You didn't pay the city tax.
So, I guess my question for y'all, so what y'all trying to have put in and on the taxes for the schools? I'm a property owner, I don't think it's fair that I'm the only one.
Hey,
Right,
that's,
I mean,
it's
most.
about $245.
Well, and my thinking is more so along the lines of the median income of residents in the city versus people who have properties can usually afford to get more money than the average income in the city. When you talk about sharing that, so that's why I'm looking at, who can actually afford it.
Yeah, I go,
Look at the median income, I think it was like $30,000 a year is what people make. In the city,
I think if
Median
you,
family income.
Yeah, median families, yeah.
but then if you go for like voters, I mean, we have a nice sized individuals who are retired now who are also property owners. So you're taxing those individuals more. If you're gonna share the burden, like if people think schools matter or what's happening here matters, I think sharing the load more with a larger group and not just property owners makes more sense than just taxing an already group that's having to be taxed, not only with school stuff, but city stuff, which is why the eliminate property tax thing is so huge, because property owners are feeling the burden. Whatever y'all vote on, I know which way I'm going, but, yeah. Yeah.
to make sure whatever we were gonna be voting on was clear, it may not be today, but I just need to see the both options, what's going on, that's all.
And I know somebody made the request, but I just want to make sure they put in to get the resolution for the income tax one as
Yeah.
well.
Because this doesn't have to be done today.
It has to be done in July.
July.
The first meeting in July, we need to vote.
You get about 10 days, you have to have it in 10 days before the filing deadline. Usually it doesn't take 10 days, but you want to give yourself that buffer. But you want to do the things on, like Madam Treasurer said, it has to have the need be sent out. Then that comes back, and you have to have like the proper resolution language about what it's for, what are we using it for. And all that has to be done around 10 days before the filing deadline. So at the latest, we want to have it done early July from our side to know what we're going to do. Yeah, places have passed these special meeting days before the actual deadline day of it making it to the auditor's office and things like that. I would be more interested to see what an income tax resolution looks like in comparison with the property tax one.
All right. Anybody else? All right. You got something, Ms. Gears? No. Oh, okay. All right. Hearing of the bargaining units? Anyone? All right. Hearing from the public. The public is invited to attend board meetings, and individuals are given a designated time to express viewpoints during the public hearing portion of the meeting. Anyone wishing to address the Board of Education during the hearing of the public portion of the board meeting will comply with the following rules. When called upon, identify yourself, state your name, address, and school district in which you reside. State your reason for addressing the board. Address the board as a whole through the president and not board members individually. Limit remarks to 3 minutes. The president has the discretion to extend the time when your time is up. you are to stop speaking. It is inappropriate to address any matter involving pending disputes, grievances under a labor agreement, disciplinary action involving an employee or a student, ongoing labor negotiations, concerns, or matters that have already been settled, and/or any matter which, because of its nature, is deemed appropriate to be discussed in executive session. The purpose of the public hearing portion of the meeting is for members of the public to express viewpoints and public concerns. Madam Treasurer?
Monique Venice. Monique Venice. Cody Rowland.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Lawrence. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to start with my name and address, right? Cody Rowden, 6701 Taywood Road, Inglewood, Ohio, and I believe that it might be Northmont School District, I believe? Okay, all right, here we go. Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Lawrence, Treasurer Abraha, and board members. My name is Cody Rowden, and I am here on behalf of the Dayton Black Rodeo to express our sincere gratitude to Dayton Public Schools for helping making the inaugural Dayton Black Rodeo a tremendous success. When we began planning this event, our vision was bigger than a rodeo. Our mission was to create an experience that celebrated culture, created opportunity, and gave back through action. We wanted to show our community that our history, our talents, and our possibilities are all worthy of being seen and celebrated. Because of the support of Dayton Public Schools, that vision became a reality. We want to give a very special thank you to Dr. Marvin Jones, business manager, for his leadership and commitment in helping us navigate the details necessary to bring this event to life. We also want to recognize Dr. Stacy Benson, Chief Richard Wright, Chief Victoria Jones, and the many DPS staff members who worked behind the scenes to ensure that this event was a success. We also want to thank Board Member Smith for being a consistent champion and supporter of the Dayton Black Rodeo. Leaders who believe in community partnerships and creating opportunities for our students truly matter. The success of this event highlighted Welcome Stadium's place as a premier community event space capable of bringing people together, creating memories, and showcasing the best of Dayton. Thousands of community members attended the Dayton Black Rodeo, and thanks to the preparation and the professionalism of everyone involved, the event was able to take place safely and without major incident. This event was also about impact. Through the rodeo, multiple Dayton Public School graduates received scholarships, turning a celebration into a direct investment in the future of our young people. Thank you, Dayton Public Schools, the board, the administration, the staff, and every partner who helped make the inaugural Dayton Black Rodeo a success. We look forward to growing our partnership with DPS and finding new ways to create opportunities for our students and families. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Job well done. Job well done.
That's it.
That's it? All right.
I knew that.
Say what?
I'm gonna call up one person.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, you don't have any remarks on the rodeo?
Yeah, his name is down here. We
mean-
can get to him.
It's at the end, comments at the end.
Go ahead.
You trying to limit your remarks? Okay. Well, Dr. Bailey, thanks for this point of privilege. You know, we have a new chief of schools, Dr. Vernon Lowry, who's officially here on site today at the board meeting. She will be supervising Bellhaven K-7, Valerie K-7, Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Belmont, Thurgood, Meadowdale, David H. Ponitz, Stivers, Edwin Joel Brown, Wright Brothers Middle School, Wagaman Middle School. She'll be working closely with athletics, the Office of Cultural Engagement, and professional development, and lots of other things. In addition, her academic work and her doctoral work focused on dropout prevention, which is going to be significant for us. That's one of our primary focuses in our academic action plan. So I would like to officially welcome her to the podium to say a few remarks. Welcome, Dr. Lowry.
Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. Again, Dr. Vernon Lowry here. I do want to take an opportunity to say I'm extremely appreciative for the opportunity. Dayton is a gem that we are going to make sure to expose to Ohio, the state of Ohio. So again, I'm extremely excited. I would like to openly say that the district has been extremely supportive during my transition. So I would like to share that with you all as well. Anything that you can think of that, let me hold that thought first. I have quite a few things that I'm working on. So you all will see those things that we're working on, and I think we'll be pleased. Any questions for me?
I'll shoot you an email.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Welcome, though. Good to see you.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Pursuant to Section 121.22G2 of the Ohio Revised Code, I move that this board go into executive session. This meeting is being held to consider the appointment, employment, and/or discipline of a public employee.
So moved. Or second.
Yeah.
Second.
Second.
A lot of words.
Madam Treasurer?
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
6 yeses.
I'm even ready to go.
Had to go up.
Because it's done.
Right,
So when it finishes the stuff,
right.
it will come.
So it started
It has been, it started, yeah.
that level.
Yeah. But
Come on, fellas.
Right, you had to get the money.
There they go, he coming, walking.
There we go. Let the record show that the Board of Education of the Dayton City School District has just completed an executive session during which it considered the appointment, employment, and/or discipline of a public employee. Madam Treasurer?
Second.
second,
Mr. Lacy?
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
6 yeses.
Mr. Superintendent?
Dr. Bailey, I'd like the board to approve the superintendent's personnel agenda A through G.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Treasurer? I'm sorry, any
Who
comments
moved it?
or concerns?
Who moved it?
Dr. Goodwin.
Goodwin.
And
Second?
Walker, Mr. Walker.
Okay.
Got questions or concerns? Going once, going twice. All right. Madam Treasurer?
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Abstain.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
5 yeses, 1 abstain.
Dr. Bailey, I'd ask the board to check out H, budget information for review, and also if there are any questions, we have a place for discussion in the Finance Committee.
All right. Any questions, concerns? None? All right. Thank you.
Dr. Bailey, I'd like the board to approve superintendent contracts. Under A, there is one new contract. It's for preschool software, but the rest of them are very similar to the review session.
Mr.
So
President?
moved.
Second?
Mr. Walker?
So, okay, Ms. Kidd, in blue is everything that is new?
And blue is everything that was added since the review session. The review session, we approved the fiscal year budget for school year 27. And so
Okay.
these are all contracts and PRs that were put in effective July 1st.
Got it, okay. So these have to be approved before July 1st in order to start?
Yes, today, or if there are any trepidation, Friday.
Okay,
I prefer to, I think Dr. Jones, I can speak for him, we both would prefer today
okay.
for the contracts.
Any questions, concerns? All right. This is for vote, right? Madam Treasurer?
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
6 yeses.
Hey, shout out to Dunbar already getting their prom approved.
Yeah, she's having an awesome year and a great summer. I'd like the board to take a look at the consultants and approve them for today. There are
Mr.
2.
President,
I'm sorry?
can I take B and C together?
Oh, yes, yes, please.
Second.
Any questions or concerns?
DNC.
No? Madam Treasurer? B and C together?
Yes.
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
6 yeses.
Dr. Bailey, based on the robust and informative discussion from the board from earlier, I'd like to ask you to, I don't want to vote on D&E today.
Okay.
Motion to table D&E.
Second.
Madam Treasurer?
Well, I mean, if
Oh,
it's
I'm sorry.
tabled, then it's understood that we're gonna vote on it at our next meeting. Isn't that Robert's rules?
I believe it's gonna come back with the other one, so we'll pick
Yeah.
between these ones and the other one. So yes, we will either.
So it is next meeting?
Next
okay.
meeting.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna amend my motion to make it the July meeting, not meeting that's on Friday. That's the next meeting. Yes,
15
special
minutes.
meeting.
Special meeting. July.
Okay.
Unless y'all can get it ready for me.
We cannot.
Goodwin and who seconded it?
Somebody down.
Me.
Mr. Walker?
Walker?
So we're moving it to the first July meeting?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Madam Treasurer?
Okay. Okay. President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
6 yeses.
Dr. Bailey, that concludes my recommendations.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Madam Treasurer?
I recommend the approval for A through H as reviewed last week.
Second.
Any questions or concerns? No? Madam Treasurer?
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
6 yeses. That
Dr. Jones?
concludes my recommendation.
Thank you, Board President. I recommend ratification of the following contracts.
So move.
Second. Mr. Smith, second. Any questions or concerns?
One question. On the insurance contract, how are vacant properties still affecting our insurance?
So the only vacant property that we have that's outside of the insurance is Lolo One.
What about Gardendale? Somebody's in Gardendale now?
We have people in Gardner, yes.
Okay, so how did it impact the insurance is my question.
So I think that one may have been about $60,000 or $70,000 reduction. But actually, for the past 2 years, Gardendale has been covered under the insurance. The two previous buildings were Hyde and Ludlow One. And so Hyde is now occupied, Ludlow One is the standalone.
Okay, can I just have, and you can send it to the rest of the board as well, just a comparison of the last 3 years of our insurance costs?
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of the rises that have been going with it. That's all, Mr. President.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Madam Treasurer?
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
6 yeses.
Thank you. New business. And, hey, can we separate the votes?
I make a motion
Oh, go ahead.
to approve personnel recommendations under new business. So yes, I will accept separating them out.
Thank you. All right. We'll vote on, any other concerns or comments at this time? All right. We'll vote on, A1.
President Bailey,
No.
Mr. Lacy,
No.
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
No.
and Mr. Walker.
Yes.
3 yeses and 3 no.
All right. Now we vote on A2. Any questions or concerns? All right. Madam Treasurer?
8. Okay. President Bailey,
Yes.
who seconded?
It was the same motion.
Who,
Oh, it's all part of that same.
Yeah, it's all part of the same.
Walker and, okay,
It's the previous one,
okay.
not that one.
I think Smith. President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
No.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
5 yeses, 1 no.
I do need to note that since that was not a superintendent recommendation, you guys needed 3/4 of the body. So the motion still doesn't pass.
Actually, it still does.
It's not under section, and you can put it up with legal, under section.
That's fine, I will. It
Go ahead,
passed.
under
Okay.
section
We can move on.
3319.02.
We can move on.
You can, but put a note for that for legal's review.
We absolutely can. Next subject.
All right. New business, B. Resolution and internal audit.
So moved.
bonus. Second.
Goodwin and
Dr.
Bailey.
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 Any questions, concerns? All right, Madam Treasurer.
Okay. President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
okay, Mr. Smith,
Yeah.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
6 yeses.
Board Member number 4.
Gotcha. Insomuch as the Board of Education is committed to the continuing updating of its policy, rules, and regulations manuals, and the committee, which was appointed, has been working towards that goal. The following is brought at this time for second reading in compliance with the board file. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Dayton City School District, Montgomery County, Ohio, hereby accepts and adopts the following policies that have been codified for inclusion in the Handbook of Policies, Rules, and Regulations. EDEF, Artificial Intelligence. I move that we adopt the artificial intelligence policy.
Second?
Questions, concerns? Madam Treasurer.
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Ms. Reinhardt. Oh. Okay, Mr. Smith, Mr. Walker,
Yes.
6 yeses.
Thank you. Board members' expense reimbursement.
So moved.
Second?
Questions, concerns? All right, Madam Treasurer.
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes?
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yeah.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
6 yeses.
Ms. Garrison.
I just want to say I appreciated the rodeo. I had such a great time. It was an event that the city of Dayton needed a win, and it was definitely a win for the community. And, man, great job again. Kudos to the team and the collaboration. Look forward to more initiatives that will help bring money into the district. And I appreciated this meeting. We had good dialogue and good discussion as a team, publicly. And hopefully we can continue to do so going forward as a follow-up from the board training that we received. And I look forward to my meeting with Dr. Lawrence on Friday, that neither him nor myself will cancel. And enjoy your evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Goodwine.
No comments, I'm trying to get up out of here.
All right. Mr. Smith.
Well, I want to say, appreciate everybody that helped out Saturday. Looking forward to seeing just more opportunities to use our facilities in those kind of ways. Really do think in light of some of the challenges we speak of, I think that's one way to bring in additional resources into the district. So I'm just appreciative of everybody. Well, that comes to fruition. And I really want to lift up the students that were there, and not only in attendance that I saw from the district, but the students who were honored with scholarships there as well. Just looking forward to getting ready for this next school year. Get out of one school year, the next one seems like it's right around the corner. So appreciate everybody and enjoy your summer. That's it.
All right. Mr. Walker.
Enjoyed the rodeo. It is summertime, so that is one thing. I would like to say to my colleagues, I would like to bring forth a motion. A motion to suspend the temporary usage of the flock system pending successful usage and data analytics reporting audit. That's the motion in one.
You said to suspend it?
To temporary suspend for up to 60 days, sorry.
Okay. Nobody seconds? All right. Then move on.
I second. We'll put it up for a vote.
Any questions, concerns? All right. Madam Treasurer?
President Bailey,
No.
Mr. Lacy,
No.
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwine,
No.
Mr. Smith,
No.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
4 no, 2 yeses.
All right.
That is all my comments.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lacy?
On the 11th, Thursday 11th, we had our finance committee meeting, and it went well. Everything seemed to be in order, steaming towards the end of the fiscal year. And on this coming Thursday, I'm looking forward to our audit committee meeting. And that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Hamilton?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Lawrence, Ms. Abraham. I am excited. I'll be brief as usual. I just wanted to say, first of all, congratulations to the AI committee for getting for helping produce the AI policy. I know that was a really large effort, mainly headed by Kurtz Miller, who did a wonderful job of kind of bringing it to all of the committees, which was wonderful. And I loved being able to see both the progress from between that committee and then also the collaboration with policy and the Building IT Steering Committee. So that was wonderful. I'm really excited about that. And then the other thing that I wanted to note is that I am excited for the audit committee meeting. In a previous meeting, I've discussed that I bring food. I will be still bringing food, but since it's a shorter meeting, I wanted to clarify it will be snacks this time. I don't know if that changes attendance, but I wanted to make sure I clarified. I know there's going to be no Chipotle this time, but in July there will.
See, we talked about this.
I know. So I just want to make sure I heartfeltly addressed it before it became an issue. No, I tease, but honestly though, I am extremely excited. We're going to be talking about the annual audit plan as well as every year we make sure that the audit committee gets a chance to review policy DIA and DIAC. So they're going to be discussing that there and hopefully bringing that to, if there are any changes, the policy committee and then of course the board. So looking forward to those things and getting input and hearing from the committee. So thank you.
Madam Treasurer?
I would like to remind our employees that the district is moving to bi-monthly pay as of July. And if you have any questions or anything, please call the treasurer's office payroll.
Thank you. Dr. Jones?
Thank you, Board President. I just wanted to kind of piggyback all of the excitement around the rodeo. I really do appreciate Dr. V, Victoria, everybody that was involved in working with the organization to make sure it was successful. I do believe that it was a much needed shot in the arm. I think the community needed to know, or I think they found out that the venue can be used for like a multiplicity of functions and festivals and events. And so I think that it was just a really good event, and I'm looking forward to working with the school board to make more memories for our community.
Thank you. Madam Treasurer, could you give that contact number that they could call? And you said they can reach out to you?
The phone number is the payroll line, area code 937-542-3912.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Lawrence?
I'm going to double down on the rodeo. I think the feedback I got this morning from our clerical training, thumbs up to in clerical training this morning, was that it was an event that there was no violence, no arguing, no fighting, brought all races together, ages, that it just was an extraordinary event. And I can't wait for the second year of the Black Rodeo. So check the box. Kudos, everybody. That's all I have.
All right, and I'd like to double down. And say congratulations on the success of the rodeo. I really wish I could have been there. I had some things going on, a lot of things going on over the weekend. But I heard great things, and the community really loved it. A lot of community members was headed down there. So I just really thank you for that, and looking for you to be using that venue a little bit more. Did you have something else, Ms. Hamilton? Don't kill yourself.
Yeah, no, I just almost tripped over a table. Not that it was in front of me. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I also wanted to add, I wanted to give a really quick shout out to the Customer Service Committee, as they did lead a wonderful training on the 11th. And it was wonderful to see so many district leaders in the room, talking through all of the customer service things and the training that is eventually going to be rolled out across the district. I know I was incredibly proud of one of my team members, Tino Cornett, who was able to be there and assist with those things as well. And yeah, I look forward to that rollout, as it was a wonderful thing, and I learned a lot and got to learn a lot with my coworkers. So,
Sarah,
thank you.
We have a meeting tomorrow. Could you reconsider the Chipotle? Because I'm making my first meeting on Thursday.
You know what? I'm glad you said something. I'll have to put that in my brain. I'll think about it.
See you tomorrow, Sarah.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
You could always do just chips.
Second.
It was me. Bailey.
It was me.
President Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Ms. Garrison,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwine,
Yes.
I'm thinking the whole time.
Mr. Smith,
Homeland Security,
Mr. Smith, Mr. Walker,
Yes.
undercut.
6 yeses.
Wow. I should have asked. Who are you guys? Who are you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Insurance? Oh, okay.